Hello everyone, it's Diane. I finished the two Christmas domestic art style journals, so they're both spoken for now. So I'm just going to show them and then get them listed in my shop. So this one is for Diane, and it's the Decorating Craft Ideas for Christmas. I did use this really cute fabric. It's kind of canvasy tie on it. And I added some nice pom-pom fringe for decoration. This beautiful fabric is on the spine. I have 3 signatures with lots of buttons sewn onto the spine too, and some, I think this is vintage, floral kind of a trim. I covered the picture on the back with this cute picture and then just glued this over where it said Oxmoor House. Just added more embellishment. So let's go inside. You've seen a lot of it because we made this together. Some of it you missed because I couldn't upload that video for some reason. On the inside, I left the end paper. It was a nice red end paper, and I left that, and I added this red Christmas paper, Christmas music paper. This was from Reader's Digest inside, and it was perfect color, so I added that. And this is a 1961 December calendar, which is just a digital that Renee from GT Design sent me as a thank you. She sent me this little digital so I can print it as often as I like. Thank you, Renee. I really like that. And here is a double recipe card. You can write a favorite Christmas recipe on it or just journal on it. And this adorable Christmas card. You can fold it and make it stand. I'm not going to fold it. That's Sawdust Jack and Sawdust Jane. So if I was making myself a Christmas journal, I would have kept this card, but I don't use Christmas journals. So you can have it. Okay, let me turn this a little bit. This is a big book, so it's hard to get it all in view. Here we have the ledger paper and a Santa Claus Coca-Cola playing card, the craft page, and we sewed those 2 pages together, sewed some lace on, and a vintage gift tag. This is from the Christmas record book, and it's just got a little tab and a little embellishment up there. This is from a Christmas songbook, and I sewed some vintage pom-pom on the bottom edge. And here's a page from the Christmas craft binder book, and it's just got this little tab here. And I thought this came from monbonbon.etsy.com. There's another shop that I need to tell you that I told you wrong before. So when I get to one of those, I will correct that. But that's, I told you I didn't know where that ticket came from, or that sheet of tickets. It's Mon Bon Bon. This is a sheet from a book about stenciling. And there's just some vintage ribbon here and a little Christmas tag that was printable also. Inside the glassine bag, I put just a couple of printable tags. And behind it is one of the tags that we made in a video. Now this right here is from this printable sheet. And I had said that I thought that these were from Nick the Booksmith. But these were all together, and they are from that shop, which I can't pronounce. I'll just hold it there so you can see it. And I'll try to remember to leave a link for that one and for Mon Bon Bon. There's the beautiful Christmas patchwork with the Christmas gold ribbon up there. This is wallpaper border. I added this trim and this recipe card. Some chenille with this piece of filet crochet. This is vintage, so is the chenille. This is a vintage postcard, and this is a card that I just received in a Happy Mail. This is some scrapbook paper with the 12 Days of Christmas song on it, and a tab made out of bead sack fabric, and there's a little jingle bell hanging on it. It's a vintage bell. And there's a little pocket here with a vintage coaster, a slide mount that I painted and stamped, and this little booklet that I tucked in here. Someone just sent that to me. And then this little card with the little brown envelopes. And when I got a Happy Mail, one of the Happy Mails, I've gotten so many lately, and it's so much fun. So I'm thankful for all of them. But at this point, I don't remember who sent what. But I thought this was just an index card, which it is, with a sticker on it. But on the back was stamped a little postcard, little tiny postcard. So I have a whole bunch of these that she sent me. So I just tuck that in there and put it in here. Here is the vintage vellum paper, and when I sewed it in to the center of the signatures, in this one and the other book, it started to crack at the end, so I just glued some washi tape here and here where it was cracking. So be careful with this. There's some vintage lace here and this vintage sequin sticker. I thought about just tearing these pages, carefully tearing them out after they were sewn in, because that's when I realized that they were cracked. But I didn't want to lose this beautiful vintage sequin sticker in this book. So it's not sequin, it's glitter. So if it tears more, you can definitely just carefully remove it. But I hope it'll be all right. There's a little pocket here. I didn't put anything in there. This just has a vintage, not vintage, just a children's playing card. These are 2 pieces of scrapbook cardstock that I sewed together and added on. This is the other side of the wallpaper border. Napkin decoupaged onto file folder, and this is a printable folder. I stitched some trim on it. And here's the vintage, it's very heavy, index tab card, and it's blue. It's vintage, and I just sewed these elements on. And this is a leftover piece, not a scrap. It's a leftover piece from this gorgeous digital kit from TLC Creates Vintage. And I had stamped on it, and then it didn't get used in the book, so it does have a little smudge there. I put it in there for some extra journaling, along with this gorgeous card also. And this one will stand up as a decoration if you want it. And there's an envelope that goes with it. Here's an envelope, and I know I did this on video, but I don't know if it's the one that I couldn't upload. But it's this horse fabric, a farm Christmas fabric, vintage ribbon, this tag that we made, and this printable. There's this pretty Christmas lady stitched onto there on a ribbon. This tab has a little bead charm that I made, bead bangle. And there's one of the clusters that's just glued on. This is the craft book page, and there's a little yo-yo with a glittery foam snowflake. And then I stitched one of those little labels, printable labels. And this is a real vintage label that I glued on. Here's a page from a vintage children's book, and this is a vintage book that I got last year. And the inside page had a fuzzy beard that the children could feel. But I just tuck this in here with a paper clip just for something fun. I sewed a strip of fabric down here. Here's a page from the Snowman book. This is from one of the craft books, and it has a bead dangle on the tab. velvet ribbon and eyelet. And this is just the envelope that the Christmas stencils came in. Vintage ledger paper, and I added this to and from label and this little die cut with a Christmas ornament. This is some gorgeous wallpaper, and I just sewed on a scrap of scrapbook paper and a coaster, and it's a little tuck spot. It has this card in it that I just got in Happy Mail. This card that I sewed some journaling paper on, and one of the poinsettia florist tags. Here's the calendar page, the Currier and Ives calendar page, and it's the December page. The calendar part is December, and then it has this vintage tablecloth piece on it, which is so cute. This is a printer paper with a Christmas design on it, and a gold ribbon that's just gathered up on it. And here's a little post-it note letter thing, and I just glued this puffy satiny star on it and put this paper clip on to hold it closed. And here's another cluster with the slide mount. Here's the other side of the calendar page. And this is the other side of the wallpaper, and it has this crewel yarn, 100% virgin wool. It says it's vintage, and I just glued it on as a tuck spot and added this recipe card and this recipe card. And in this little gold pocket is another florist hang tag and a piece of vintage iron-on transfer for embroidery. Here's a quilted pocket. It was a strip, and I sewed on some velvet ribbon and added these cards. That's a really pretty recipe card. And this is a printable and a playing card with some ledger on the back. This is just for writing a list on or journaling on. This bulb pin on the tab has some little buttons. Here's a pocket with a printable in it, and this is the little packaging that came with the glittery vintage bell stickers. So I just tucked that in there. It was cute. I didn't want to throw it away. There's a fabric collage here. And here's a pocket made out of that really cute vintage tablecloth. It does have some stains on it. This is from one of the craft books. I glued it to some paper for journaling. This is a printable and a recipe card. These are all just printables. There's two large ones tucked inside this pocket. This is a Christmas gift tag. I bought it last year on clearance. It's in the shape of a sweater. And there's a little bit of chenille here and a little red jingle bell on this tab. The cover of the Snowman book, and it's got this pleated trim. And here is a piece of tapestry, upholstery fabric, and it's got these little sequins on it. And there's a giant tag that I stamped on inside this letter to Santa that you can fill in. And here is a tuck spot made out of a fabric cluster with a printable and this little card for journaling on. The library pocket that I covered. There's some lace and a little button there shaped like a Christmas package. These pages are both from the craft books. This is vintage ledger paper, and it has the printable file folder on it. I sewed some trim to it. Some more trim and lace here. One of the florist hang tags that's put on as a tuck spot. It's got a cream colored lace and a little tree shaped button. This printable and this Christmas card, or playing card. It's a Christmas note card with some fabric. That's pretty paper. It's from that Paper Studio pack, and this is a photo sleeve with places for 2 photos. It's got 2 journaling cards in it right now. I sewed some cream colored braid to it. So you can put photos in here and then journal on these cards and put them facing that way if you'd like. And this is just stitched along the edge, this note paper. There's a couple pieces of bead sack fabric up there and just some little bits here that are stitched on. Here's a doily with a button, big green button. A tuck spot, this is, or a pocket, this is a stencil. I just put this Christmas song in there and a little journaling card. Rather a large journaling card. This is wallpaper, and I stitched this cluster up at the top that you can journal on and maybe even tuck something in if you want. This opens out. You can paint, do all kinds of stuff, just glue pictures down, whatever you want to. And I glued that label on there, and this is left over from Tsunami Rose's Christmas list journaling kit, and I just put it on the edge here with a paper clip that's shaped like a letter, an envelope. There is vintage pom-pom sewed to the bottom of that wallpaper. This is really cool nubby Christmas fabric, vintage, with a little patch there that I put on and some rickrack and some lace. Here's another, the back of the Snowman book cover. And this is a beaded, embroidered piece from India. I sewed it onto this fabric and made a pocket with it. This has a really fun vintage Christmas card in it. And this lace tag. This one is the back of this scrapbook paper, and this is a piece of a craft book page that just flips out. You can put some pictures on the back, put pictures here, paint on it, write on it. Vintage gift tag, and my signature here, and that's the end of this book. So this is your book, Diane. I hope you like it, and I will get it listed right away. Thank you so much. I'll be back to show you the other book in just a moment.